So it's been a while since I've done a reptile room tour, and I've been meaning to. Just very busy with wrestling, getting ready for a wedding, and other stuff. But finally found time to do one today after the Long Island Reptile Expo in Brentwood. So yeah, we're gonna do a quick little tour, see how the animals are doing, give everyone an update. As you can see, this is Jormungandr, my male Mojave ball python. He's doing very well. He just started feeding again because he was on the ball python hunger strike that can last, 6 months, maybe more. But you can see he's doing really well, and I'm very, very happy he's eating again. He's my buddy. He's a super friendly snake. Mojaves are probably, up there in my top 3 morphs, maybe number 2 behind my favorite morph, which is the blue-eyed leucistic, which I do have, which is Ekans, which is a female. So you never know. I do have a male Mojave. I have a female blue-eyed leucistic. Maybe in the future we'll produce some babies. I don't know. That seems to be something I've been thinking about. So I'm gonna keep Norm, as we call him. Victoria calls him Norm. I'm gonna hit him off in Norm with Victoria, and then we'll start over this way. So speaking of Ekans, she is my blue-eyed leucistic ball python. Very, very, very much my favorite morph, even though there's a lot of other really cool morphs out there now. I always just fell in love with this morph. And as you can see, it's a white snake with blue eyes. So she's absolutely adorable, and I love her. And I'm ecstatic to have her. And she's doing really well. And, we're going to just continue to see what happens, see how big she gets, and see what happens. Like I said, maybe in the future, breed her to Jormungandr and have a couple babies. So, she's in her 36 by 18 by 12 Thrive open front tank with the UVB, with the heat pad and the whole nine. Let me get Norm here. He's going on a little adventure, so we'll just keep him. I'm gonna put him away for right now. Come on, buddy. You get some nice shots of the animals. All right. There's the pretty girl. And then down here is Diablo in the same size tank as Ekans is. Come on, buddy. There we go. Ekans is my male snow corn snake. I'm sorry, Diablo. Wow. That's what happens when you get hit in the head a lot. Diablo is my male snow corn snake. He was a rescue. Somebody couldn't take care of him anymore or got bored of him. I can't quite remember. And they handed him over to me, and I've had him now for about 5 years. And he's a big, chubby boy. He's doing very well. He's awesome. He's a favorite of people's when they come over and hang out, want to see some of the snakes. He's, usually the one that comes out. But he's just an awesome pet. Corn snakes are definitely up there as the top, beginner pet snakes, or just beginner snakes in general. Come on, buddy. Get your tail in there. All right. Then moving along, we can find them. We got Pasquale, the Schneider skink, who is obviously buried under his bedding, because that's what they do. Where are you, buddy? Oh, there he is. Come on, buddy. You don't want to. Oh, right under the sand, under the bedding. You want to say? You want to say hi to everybody? Where are you? Making me look bad, bud.
Let me get him.
No, I'll get him.
Oh, look at his little face. Hi, Peace Claws.
He just doesn't. Okay, now he's in there. There he is.
He's camera shy today.
Let's excuse that. That's Pasquale, the Schneider skink.
Hi, baby.
He's a little grumpy. Oh, look.
No, he's not. He's a good boy.
But he's doing really well. As you can see, he's very wiry and lively. And he's in a nice big enclosure. He's got plenty of places to hide and buried underneath the ground, the substrate. And he's doing really well. And over here, we'll get a little worm. We'll bring out Ragnar, so everyone can see Ragnar.
There in the corner.
Hey, buddy. Where are you? Oh, there you are. I know. Big and tough. There he goes. You gonna eat, buddy? No?
Probably full
All right,
on
well.
the floor.
He probably is. You gonna eat now? He's gonna be a big, tough lizard. No? Well, Ragnar is my male green belly keeled lizard. And as you can see, he's doing extremely well. Having a grand old time. And then in here, another one. Everyone's camera shy today.
It's because they just don't eat.
But in here is Odin, my jeweled Lacerda, who's usually very food motivated. You know, everyone's out and always out and about. Well, we're never filming. And of course, when we film, everybody decides to be camera shy.
Not this baby. Hi, Bella.
Portobello. Okay, there we go. So, here's Odin, my jeweled Lacerda. Let me just fix his whole setup we got going on here. There we go. I love this lizard. I think they're super, super cool. Very underrated. And he's not eating either. Basically, like a mini tegu. Very personal. He absolutely knows when it's time to feed, and obviously when it's time to not want to be seen on camera. Come on, buddy.
He said no.
Well, we're gonna try to get him out, and if not, we'll just leave him alone for a little time being. Come here, buddy.
Let me talk about pineapple.
He is just not cooperating today. There we go. There he is. Come on, buddy. Everybody wants to see you. They want to say hello. Say hello to your public. So, here he is. Odin, the jeweled Lacerda, like I said. You know, obviously, you know, once you get him out, he calms down. I mean, as he's just wanting to get away, but he will calm down eventually, not restraining him. But, I mean, you can see the blues, just the bright blues and the greens. They're really awesome. He's in a shed, so we're just going to give him a little hand here. He's in a Exoterra 36 by 18 by 18. He's doing extremely well, eating dubia roaches, pinky mice, crickets, soup worms, pretty much anything I give him. I also threw isopods inside of my white tree frog, the Lacerdas, the green belly keeled, my crested gecko, and my Pac-Man frog all have isopods to help with the cleanup of shed skin and waste. I don't know how it's working. It's something I just started about a week ago, to be honest. I'm hoping that using that will kind of create a natural, make it easier for cleanup. And then inside of here, if we can find him, I don't know where he is. Huh. Everybody's hiding today. Oh, there he is. We got my White's tree frog, Frogman Jones, doing really well. Eating like a pig. Then down here, we got the rescue, the albino Pac-Man frog Pineapple, who's doing fantastic, who had a massive meal before we left. He ate a decent-sized mouse that one of the snakes didn't want to eat. So he probably won't be eating for about 2 to 3 weeks. But, not an animal you really want to handle. But very cool, simple to care for frog. Heating pads, UVB light, and you're good to go. Miss them once or twice a day. Same thing with the White's tree frog. Then inside here, next to Frogman, if we can find her, she is going into shed, so we're not gonna mess with her too much. There she is. She is a little spicy, and she is a little cantankerous at times. So we're just gonna get her out on the hook so everybody can see. I don't want to mess with her too much. But this is my rough-scaled Samboa. As you can see, she's going into a shed, but I love this animal. I think they look, they have a very dragon-esque head, keeled-like scales, so they have, hence, rough-scaled Samboa. Super cool animal, captive bred that I got about 7 months ago, from a breeder at the Long Island Reptile Expo, and just super cool snake. Then down here, we got my Razorback Musk Turtle Rupert, who's doing well. He's got a bunch of fish with him to keep him company and do some cleanup. We got some, there's some snails in there for allergy. There's some ghost shrimp, just to kind of, trying to keep it a little bit easier and, hopefully try to keep the tank a little bit more clean and not having such a mess with having the fish and stuff in there. But we'll see. It's something that I'm seeing how it's going with the idea of having a cleanup crew. Then in this little tank, we got my Viper geckos. I can find there's 2 of them, but I'm gonna make sure there's one right there. Yep. And the other one. Come on, buddy. Alright, well, the other one is not cooperating. But my little Viper geckos, and they're getting bigger. I had them since they were fresh out of the egg, so they're getting there. They don't get that much bigger, maybe a couple more inches, but they're doing fantastic, and they're gonna live in this little setup probably for most of their lives until we upgrade them to something a little bit bigger. And they got plenty of crickets and hiding spots, and they have a heat pad as well, and they're doing awesome as well. And then in here, the OG of the room, if you will, my leopard gecko Godzilla. Oh, we gotta, come on, buddy. Say hello to your public. This is Godzilla, just a normal leopard gecko. Got him back at the Long Island Reptile Expo 5-6 years ago. He was the first lizard I had since, 5-6 years. And he's kind of what started my love. I've always been in love with reptiles, but he kind of started the passion again to go about and have the animals that I once had and go back into it. And he's doing really well, and he's living his best life. He's my buddy. And then come over here, which is on the bottom, is your McAnder's tank. We saw him earlier. Try not to mess with these guys too much. Let's see where his head is. Over here, this is my gray banded king snake, Arbok. Again, had her since she was pretty much fresh out of the egg. Again, another purchase from the Long Island Reptile Expo. And she's doing really good. And she's getting big and fat and pounding mice and, well, fuzzies, but she's fantastic, and I'm very, very excited to see how, when she gets full grown. I'm actually a fan. This is I believe the locality is Christmas Mountain, and that's why her pattern isn't typical of what you would see with most gray bandeds. It's a little bit broken up and not as, you can see like she's got the solid orange bands, but then she's got these nice black markings, and then obviously as we get closer to her head, it kind of splotches out. Again, heat pad, UVB, doing really well. And then we got my Rosie Boa, Noodle, who was literally a little noodle when I got her, and now, or him, and now is a little trunkster and getting pretty fat and chubby and doing really well. And, again, I'm very lucky that the animals I've purchased and the animals that I've acquired have come from reputable people, whether it's breeders from the Long Island Reptile Expo or the White Plains Reptile Expo or Repzotica here on Long Island. I've been very fortunate to get high quality animals. Obviously, Diablo, Littlefoot, my crested gecko, Rupert. They were Littlefoot wasn't necessarily a rescue. Some of these crested geckos had babies, and he was given he or she was given to me. Diablo was a rescue. Rupert was a rescue, and then obviously the two bearded dragons were rescues. But besides the animals that I've purchased, I've been lucky enough to purchase from reputable breeders and or stores like Repzotica. So I always highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, go to a breeder or go to a very reputable place like a Repzotica or any of your local reptile stores that you can trust, because you want to buy quality animals. I mean, obviously going to a Petco or PetSmart, it could be hit or miss. Not that I'm knocking those companies, but go somewhere where you can, you're getting a quality animal. Then over here, we'll just move her tortoise food aside, is Victoria, the camera woman, aka my fiance, aka the boss. This is our redfoot tortoise, Tortabella, who has, I think, gotten a little bit bigger since we've gotten her about 2 years ago. And she's the little bulldozer going through, knocking stuff over, and runs around the house. And she's a personality for sure.
She's a beastie.
She's the beastie.
She likes to boop. Boop a sneak.
But she's doing really well, and she's in this nice big 4-foot, I believe it's Penplex Tortoise Palace. She's got a heat pad on the roof, so if it gets a little too cold, she's able to get in there. She's got her UVB, UVA heat bulb, so she's doing really well and just eating away and living life. And then finally, as I was saying before, the two rescues, my two bearded dragons that were both rescues. Both of them came from homes that couldn't take care of them. Cuddles here Chubbs came from a home where the daughter just, got bored of it, which happens. That's totally understandable. And now he's living here in his forever home. And then below is Mr. Cuddles, who's a little bit more of a grump of a bearded dragon. So we don't really, take him out too much. Kind of when on our own time. But as you can see, I'm sure he'll start head bobbing in a little bit after he sees Chubbs. But this is Chubbs. Definitely a high yellow or a lemon bearded dragon. Not sure the sex. Just by looking at the size of the head comparison to Mr. Cuddles, I'm going to lean towards possibly Chubbs is a female. But as you can see, just typical bearded dragon. Just very laid back and not a care in the world. And she's got her Chubbs has got a nice UVB, UVA heat bulb, basking spot, nice rock that gets hot. They're both on carpet. I find it a little bit easier. They obviously have their fresh salad from earlier today that we will clean up at the end of the night. And then we'll see if Mr. Cuddles will let us close out with him. See what kind of mood he's in today. Hi, buddy. You gonna be a good boy today? Hey, are you gonna make me look bad? You tell everyone you're not a bad guy. And then this is Mr. Cuddles. A typical, standard, normal bearded dragon. And he's definitely gotten better. he was very much, don't look at me, don't touch me. I'm going to show you how big and scary I am by flattening my stomach out. I mean, you can see his beard's dark, so he's not exactly thrilled. He's giving me the side eye, like, why aren't you putting me back? But he's definitely gotten better in terms of handling. But see now, and then he tells us when he's ready to go back in. And we let him do his thing. And I'm sure he'll start bopping his head because he's not happy. But that's it. That is the reptile room tour. As Chubbs just took a dive bomb, we will fix that back up. There you go, buddy. So that's it. That's the reptile room tour. We'll try to do more of these in the future. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.